Hi, I'm Ashley, self-proclaimed resources nerd and staff member at Futures Northwest. In this video, I'll be interviewing Lisa Olson from the Opportunity Council to highlight new and important information about the Eviction Rental Assistance Program. Lisa will be answering questions about the program, how you can become eligible, and will provide the intake information you need so that you can get the rental assistance you deserve in this exceptionally challenging time. If you are unsure if you qualify for this program, we recommend calling during business hours to ask your questions and see if you qualify for additional assistance in other programs as well.
Thank you so much, Lisa, for joining us today. I really appreciate your time and the information you're going to share with us today. So, to start off, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and then tell us a little bit more about the Eviction Rental Assistance Program before we get into the details.
Sure. Well, hello, everybody. I'm Lisa Olson. I'm the Interim Housing Support Coordinator for the ERAP program, which is the Eviction Rent Assistance Program. So that program is a one-time rent assistance program for persons who live in Whatcom County that owe rent.
Fantastic. So what is the basic eligibility information that someone would need to know about?
Sure. So persons would need to be under 50% area median income, and the gross income for all adults in the household previously 60 days before the application. They must owe rent since March of 2020. So that means any time after March of 2020.
Oh.
At least one household member must meet at least one additional criteria. And there's about 7 different questions that I can read to you. The person would need to be rent burdened, 50% or more of their current monthly income is needed to pay rent. Previously homeless within the last 5 years. This includes experiences of couch surfing or doubling up. Eviction history within the last 7 years. Housing disrupted due to the household member's race, ethnicity, gender identity, sexual orientation, or religion. And or at risk of severe illness, such as 62 years or older, or an underlying condition. A disability of any household member includes physical, developmental, or emotional impairment, including an impairment caused by alcohol or drug use, post-traumatic stress disorder, or a brain injury. A person with HIV or AIDS is considered disabled. And then also if you're screening people who are under 24 years old, who are a young adult, these additional criteria could also be used. So that person would be 24 years old or younger that is pregnant or parenting, or 24 years old or younger that is a recipient, current or past, from any one of the following: foster care, adoption, mental health, drug, alcohol treatment, or court systems.
Okay.
And also, I'd just like to point out that these will not be asked to be verified, these questions. If you answer yes to it, we just need you to declare that yes, this is correct, and we won't ask you anymore.
Great. And you only need to answer yes to one of those questions in order to qualify.
That's correct.
Thank you for being so clear and for listing all of those out. How much rent assistance can be received?
So our program has a maximum of 3 months total rent assistance. One of those months would need to be in arrears, or they would need to owe rent for 1 month. And it actually doesn't have to be a full month's worth of rent. They just need to owe some.
Okay.
The other 2 can actually be future rent if needed.
Okay, great. And then what documentation is required, or any identifying information that is required in this process?
So the documentation we collect for this program, we would need any income information for the past 60 days for all adult household members. And that could be pay stubs, child support, DSHS, TANF, Social Security, unemployment, or any other income. Identifying information such as Social Security numbers, we won't need that information. We do not need any copies of IDs, The only identifying information I could think of is we have a release of information that's verbal. And so to prove that it is you that we're getting that release for, we verify your birth date over the phone.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but none of that is required in writing.
No.
Wonderful, thank you. And then what are the rental requirements?
So this can be it could be a formal lease with the landlord or an informal agreement with rental payments being made to friends or family.
Okay, that's great. And then how does someone apply to this program?
So you can apply for this program by simply calling the Opportunity Council, and you'll dial 360-734-5121, and you'll hit extension 316.
Okay, great. What is the process and how does the program work once someone qualifies for it?
So you would call in to get an appointment, and you would answer those screening questions that I read earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And then a case manager would call you and meet with you over the phone.
Mm-hmm.
And then the case manager will collect all of the documentation they need for the program. And then after that step, the case manager will contact the landlord, and the landlord will complete a form.
Okay, great. And then how is the money received? Is it paid to the landlord?
Yes. Or if it's a friend or family, it would be paid to whoever you have that agreement with.
Fantastic. Are there any other questions or things that you've thought of that we haven't talked about today that would be important to know about?
Can't think of any. Just it's been really great being able to meet you and to offer this opportunity out to the community.
Thank you so much. Oh, I thought of one question. About how long does the process take to then become eligible for this? Is there a backlog in appointments? Can it get really busy? Just want to kind of like help folks set up expectation. If it is taking a little bit long to hear back, that it doesn't mean it's a no.
You will be screened in when you call in in the very beginning. And then once you meet with that case manager, that's when eligibility is determined. So we have to have your income information to be able to determine if you're eligible. So we definitely need to make sure that we have that. And so that really depends on when we get that information, that we don't really actually have a time frame specific for it.
Okay. And how does somebody get you that information?
Yeah, there's a couple different ways. We have a 511 East Holly Street pickup window that we just set up. So you can go to that window and drop off documents and pick up documents or sign documents. And then also we have an upload. You can upload documents securely on our website.
Fantastic. Well, that was really good clarifying information. Thank you. And I just appreciate your time and explaining all of this to us. And for everyone watching, I sincerely hope you take advantage of this program. It is for you, and this is just such a challenging time, and we wish you all the best. Thank you so much, Lisa, again for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.